All right. I don't know if it's good on the other, the flippity flop, but too close. That didn't help at all. Yeah, I want this to go fast. So, yellow, TENIME here. Today's shirt. See you, Space Cowboy. Hopefully the copyright-free noir jazz isn't too loud. Today, we are going to be taking a look at, I should have had it with me on this side, the Mondo 1/8 Mondo exclusive Cowboy Bebop Spike Spiegel. I should have just left that part for on the other side of the camera, but so yeah. It is currently 8 degrees in Chicago. Quite chilly. Hopefully you are staying warm, because apparently just the whole country is snowed in. Flipping the camera around. Yeah, I already showed you the shirt. Flipping the camera around. Taking a look at the box. Flipping the camera around. Oh, geez, Louise. Okay, or not. Oh no, I spoiled that. I have other Spike Spiegels to compare. Oh shoot, where's my tape measure? Bro, I don't know where my tape. I don't know where my tape measure is. Well, where the heck did I put it? It is not with, I forgot when I was setting up, but it's not with all of the stuff that I use to open up toys not on camera, which is where I usually keep it. Boy, you know, I said I wanted this short, and I was all nicely prepared, and I guess not. A ruler, since the microphone is with me, so you can still hear me even though I'm nowhere near the camera. Where's my ruler, bro? All right, this sucks. I know I don't always use the tape measure, but like, given that this is 1/8 scale, which is not a scale that I or most people collect, I know what I wanted to bring for comparison that I did not pre-set up. So let me put that over here. All right. Sorry, I don't know where this frickin' tape measure is. That blows. All right, so looking at the box, it is plain black. You can see it got kind of dinged there. Luckily, it's thick enough that that's what she said. It did not. This Velcro is very tough. You know, it barely dented through. Oh, see you, Space Cowboy. You can see the figure through the window. Pull back because it's a big box. The Bebop logo, Spike, Mondo. Not that I want an entire collection in this stupid scale that but like every other Cowboy Bebop line that comes out, except for Funko Pop, we get Spike and Vicious, and that's it. And I'm sick of it. It is a relatively small cast. So here is Mondo's logo, Cowboy Bebop logo, CrunchyRoll logo, Bandai Namco logo, collector's model. This is not a toy. Modèle de collection. Ceci n'est pas un. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's Ceci n'est pas means this is not. And then un is a, and that's toy. Jouet? And then, yeah. So, thank you, Hector and Alex. Thank you, Tommy. I mean, thank you again, same Alex. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Hector, again, since I thanked Alex twice. And then thank you, Jordan. And then on the bottom, upside down stuff that probably no one cares about. I don't think you could get even the regular version in stores, but this is the exclusive version, which I must thank my bestie and trivia host, Kat, for her assistance in getting this, because otherwise I would not have this in front of me. So thank you very much, Kat, as always. Josh, you're not late. I'm late. Thanks for joining me, bud. All right, getting the box open. Flip it around so you're not staring at nothing. Well, if it's a scale you don't want to collect, then why'd you get it? Well, because again, Cowboy Bebop fans are kind of starving for merchandise. And even though they're not in scales that I prefer, I still love the Daria and Real Monsters stuff. And even though they're larger than the scale they claim to be, I still love the Real Ghostbusters. All right. I don't know if I don't remember if I showed you. The insert's just solid black. There's nothing on it. Solid black, nothing on it. It's a neat box. Likely not going to keep it. Underneath the... I'll go over that on the other side of the camera. All right. But yes, Cowboy Bebop is my favorite anime. And we don't get a lot. So I try and enjoy what I can, regardless of what it is. There's a stand arm. Here is a stand. And I mean, I don't think there's any characters that I dislike in the show. But I've said before, as awesome as a fictional character as Spike Spiegel is, he is not my favorite character. And I said her name wrong when I showed the 6th scale figure in my top toys of 24. Edward Wong Haupepelu Tavruski IV. That is her name, also known as Radical Edward. But that is not... I switched 2 of her names in that stream. Underneath tray, we have Puppy. So at least we got Ein. I need to do another series rewatch. I try to do one a year, but it's been a couple years since I've seen it. So, though I did get digital access to the movie, and I've only seen the movie once. Just because it was kind of like the second X-Files movie, where I was just a little underwhelmed that it was a standalone story and not continuing the overarching mythology, lore, narrative. So if you're going to watch the movie, you definitely need to watch it in the middle of the series and not at the end, because no spoilers, but there's some there's if you watch the movie after the show and you're treating that as chronological, it contradicts the ending of the show. So it's not chronological. Oh, that's awesome. Although this makes me not worried, but it's the net gun, which usually when we get like static figurines, this pretty much always comes with a jet. So the fact that it's coming to Spike probably means we're not getting anyone else of the crew as usual. This is just going to be I'd like it to be under an hour, but it's going to be over an hour of TENIME whining about how little Cowboy Bebop collectibles there are. I was going to say how little merch there is, and that's grammatically correct. But then when I said little collectibles, that's how few collectibles. All right, that's cool. Oh, again, that I know it's probably on the ship, and so that's why he comes with it. But it's another jet. I don't want to say specific accessory, but it feels like another jet specific accessory. What is? I was racking my brain trying to figure out what this is. Like, is it the? Because he comes with a vial of red eye, but like, is this the red eye gun that like you load it into and you? We'll go through all that. Come on. Gun. Hands. Come on. Where's my tweezers? I have rather slender fingers, but they're still too big to get into some of these plastic trays, and I don't just want to dump it upside down. All right. I mean, it's cool. Rather, Bandai Namco. I'd rather Bandai finish their frickin' figure arts. Again, we got Spike and Vicious. That's it. They showed Faye. Never made her, just like they showed Goemon for the loop on the third. Goemon's the tangent. Goemon is the only member of Lupin the Third that we're missing in SH Figure Arts, and I have always and will always be angry about that, because it's like you did everyone but one character, and you showed the prototype. One character would have finished it. It would take as small as a Bebop. I'm testing joints. As small as a Bebop. What I would consider a complete cast, which would be the crew. So Spike, Jet, Faye, Ed, Ein, Punch and Judy, Vicious and Julia. And like, that's it. Like, I mean, I would consider any other bounties, or like side characters, like the three old men. Like, I'd consider characters like that to be ancillary, not necessary. So the ones I mentioned would be necessary. Like I said, Punch and Judy, Vicious and Julia, and then the crew of the Bebop. This is upsetting me. Why is that not moving? I don't want to break my brand new toy right out of the box. Well, this is not a toy. So oh my gosh. Why would you put a joint there if it doesn't do anything, guys? It moves better on the other side, but still not great. Definitely scared about that. But yeah, so it's as small of a lineup as that is. I shouldn't have to heat this up. This has been in my apartment since... When did Kat bring it over? New Year's Eve? New Year's Day. New Year's Day. We saw the Stranger Things finale in theaters with Reeps. Ooh, I am not enjoying how difficult it is to move some of these joints. And that's not a... Like, it's not a criticism. It's a fear. It's, oh, I don't like this because the joints are hard to move. It's, I'm afraid because I don't want to break this trying to use articulation that was, you know, engineered to be used. Really wish I had that tape measure. I measured... Swoop is in the way. You can't see it. I moved some of my anime stuff. So my nostalgia anime, I moved up to the top shelf. I condensed all of my Dragon Ball. So that top shelf used to be Dragon Ball, and then Dragon Ball was up there. But now all Dragon Ball is up there. That's my nostalgia anime. So Ronin Warriors, Sailor Moon, Yu Yu Hakusho, Tenchi Muyo, Ranma 1/2. And then I moved my second favorite anime, My Hero Academia, onto that shelf behind Reboot Bob. But I made risers for that top shelf, and I used I used both the ruler and the tape measure to make sure that the risers would be not only functional to see what's on the shelf, but also fit in the display. And then I don't know what I did with the ruler or the tape measure after making those risers. Ooh, gosh, that's scary. Please don't break. I don't want to have to make this an even longer video by boiling water. Ooh. Ooh. Which you don't want loose joints. You know, you want them tight enough so that they don't, you know, that the figure can stand. But you don't want it so tight that trying to pose the figure breaks it. And I thought I would be freezing, but of course, no. All the lights in my apartment on, and this ring light. Yeah, no, the ring light doesn't put out heat, so I don't know why I'm always... I mean, I always run hot anyway. Welcome to another enlightening TENIME live stream. Oh, does he have toe? No, could be. Like the figures I want to have toe articulation never do. And then the figures that I would never use it on always do. And it usually screws up their stability. All right. Flip of the camera. Flip of the camera. See if we can get him to stand on his own. Ooh. Ooh. All right. I just realized something. Oh, that's dumb. I mean, there's that, but okay. Well, my realization is the tape measure or ruler in. Nope. All right. Wow. I usually have the tape measure like just readily accessible, and then the ruler just in my desk drawer, like the middle one. Frick. Frickety frick. I mean, I'm going to need them for just personal use outside of this stream. Like, bro. All right, I know where a giant chunky tape measure is in my toolbox, so if I can get it out. That's what she said. All right. Pardon my fat huffing and puffing. Oh, I think I know where they are. I think because I knocked something over that. I think they fell over. So, but anyway, here we go. Giant chunky. So he is falling down. He's a little over 10 inches with his big poofy hair. So it's like, I don't know, like, not going to fit with 12 inch, it's not going to fit with 6 inch, it's not going to fit with the dumb 7 inch 1/10 that NECA and McFarlane insist on continuing to do. And I have another comparison to gripe about. The supposed 1/12 scale of Storm collectibles, which is taller than 1/10. So it's not 1/12 like they claim. It's taller than 1/10 because, oh, I forgot Mattel. In dragging NECA and McFarlane, I forgot Mattel. So it's like, you got 1/10, which is 7 inches. You got 1/12, which is 6 inches. You got whatever this 1/12 is. Then we have a 1/8. I just... I'm autistic and I want a danged consistent scale across all of my friggin' collectibles, man. All right, so we have a disc stand, a little textured there, a little hole in the middle, plain underneath. We have a stand arm. And got some nuts and bolts on this side of the joints. And then we have screws on that side, so you can tighten them if you need to. The extent of the joints go as such. The top part plugs in. You got these little arms here that are just plugged in, so you should be able to, pop them out. Those, it's not my favorite design because you can't really, I mean, like, coat the peg with glue to thicken it up so there's more friction in the hole. That's what she said. And then pops in the middle of the, I said, it pops in the middle of the stand. There we go. Which, I don't know how useful that is, man. Like, so I mean, I guess, but I feel like it's a little awkward. So like I said, we have the net gun, the net launcher. So it shoots out these, and then there's like a net behind it, and it captures their bounties. Got a cool little like fabric-y strap here. It's kind of cheapish. It's got these like, you know these. These are like kind of like that cheap thin metal. So, but you could, I'm assuming, is that functional? Yep. Okay. So you can tighten or loosen either end. Like I said, makes me worried because usually in static figurines that we get, Jet always comes with that. We have a awesome little flamethrower with the same kind of strap. I can specifically think of 2 instances of the flamethrower, either cooking up some food. We have some, it's a mushroom. That's awesome. So we have a mushroom on a, I mean, it's a fencing sword, but like, I don't remember what these are called. The mushroom is glued on. The tip is a little bent. If you can see that. So like, you know, either cooking the mushroom or getting that weird freaking alien living fridge fungus from that one awesome episode where it's like, wait, does everyone die? No. Does it come out? I think it's glued in. Yep. That is glued in, so you can display it with the flame or don't display it at all. We have a little utility belt here with some pouches and some like gas bombs, little canister gas bombs. Gas bombs are glued to the belt, and this is what worried me, is that it's the ISSP. It is the, what is it, International... No. The P stands for police, and that's where Jet used to work before... Or am I just, like, misremembering everything? I thought it was your favorite anime. Yeah, well, my memory isn't great, so... not only autism, but freaking old age. So we have a trench coat, bendy wire in the belt, which is pretty cool. A bendy wire in the hem, which is pretty cool. It does not... I mean, I don't know if we need it like up here, but having some in the collar would be cool. And some cool like little buckles there. I'm not even going to try and attempt to see if those work. But the belt looks like it's perfectly functional. If you so desire to close the belt around him, wow, maybe. You see it feeding through, right? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay. And then the other side, yes, the other side is open as well. So I do love that the belt is completely bendy. So, and then like I said, the bendy in the hem is really cool as well. This is what I was confused, like, because isn't that like the first episode too? So it's like, is this the red eye applicator? It is separate from the hand, but this hand is made specifically to hold it. So in fact, it came like this in the tray. So all of the hands have the great joint of peg, ball hinge, peg. So you can spin either peg around. You can either hinge horizontally or you just rotate the peg and you can hinge vertically. Then, like I said, he does come with a vial of red eye. that is permanently sculpted to be part of the hand, which is kind of a bummer because would have been cool if that was like translucent-ish, you know, like little translucent. With the, I mean, you're not seeing things. It is kind of lavenderish. Well, that was called Red Eye. Yeah, so did I. But that would have been cool to be translucent, but it appears to be all part of the same sculpt. Or maybe not. Maybe they just... So then, if they sculpted holes in the thumb and forefinger, it is glued in. Then why couldn't they have made that translucent? But anyway, we have his trusty sidearm, which is pretty neat looking. It's like a snub-nosed desert eagle. So I don't know if maybe it is a real gun and I'm showing gun ignorance. I thought I was pretty knowledgeable about a fair amount. I don't want to say a lot, but so we have a open, like a wide open grip hand. Maybe to hold that. But it's not a trigger finger. Like I said, all of the hands have the same, there we go, joint. I'm making the mistake of looking at the thing over the camera, so I'm not like concentrating on showing you on camera. I apologize. Got a cool little like kind of relaxed-ish hand. I mean, earlier I was like, well, that's kind of dumb. There's no... So my father smoked for 65 years, and it very likely led to him dying at 80. I feel like if he hadn't smoked for 65 years, he could have lived longer than 80. I've always thought it was gross. I always thought the smell was gross, and then as I've gotten older, I've literally become deathly allergic to it, to the point where if I smell it in your hair or on your clothes, I get a migraine, I get nauseous, and I can't breathe. However, and I don't think it's particularly cool. So I'm not trying to insult anyone who smokes, but you know, those are my feelings on it, because I want to make those feelings known, because there are a few characters that kind of always need a cigarette. And you will see with my other Spike Spiegels, if they came with a cigarette, he's got his cigarette. So it's like, this is the only cigarette we get, which is kind of a bummer. Like the little like sleepyhead. So then it's like, I mean, like, is that even gonna, like, is that how you would, I mean, it seems like that's what that hand is sculpted for, but then it doesn't come with any cigarettes for him to like maybe hold with a different head, you know? So I may have to make my own cigarettes for him to hold, because I'm not displaying that head. I mean, it's a cool head and I like having it, but I'm not going to display that head. So definitely want him to be holding a cigarette. We have kind of like a splayed out-ish. I feel like maybe it's for like, you know, moving his, you know, pushing his sunglasses up. So we have the sunglasses head. Hopefully you can see that on camera. The top of the hair does have a very faint green dusting. So there's like a misty spray, kind of like I don't want to say dry brushing, because it's not. Like it's definitely like someone just but he does have the green in his hair. So, you know, looking at it down here, it is very much black. Center and focus, stupid. You can look at this off camera later. I'm pointing, you filming it, dummy. So yeah, so it is all black down here, and it's hard to tell from straight on, but there is green in the top. Cigarette head. We have a head with a kitty cat in his hair. Some green around the kitty cat. I feel like it's a weird scale to try these like whisker as like are the like the eyebrow hairs on cats and like raccoons, are those still whiskers even though they're not on the snout? I just like I don't know how else you would accomplish these, but they look a little thick at this scale, but then smaller you definitely wouldn't be able to do them, or they'd be thicker, or they'd look, you know, they'd basically be this thick on a smaller cat, which would look even more ridiculous. And then if it were like 6th scale, you'd probably have to go with some like really delicate like wires that could like break off. So I don't know what the solution to that conundrum would be, but then we got Kitty on his head. And then I should have written down what the because there's some exclusives. Like I'm pretty sure Ein is one of the exclusives. So he is just a slug, and he's got a permanent spike hand on him, but the hand still has the same joint. So I may have to have him holding Spike with that hand, which stinks because that's usually the cigarette holding hand, and then I usually do a gun hand on the other. So I'm not very varied in my Spike Spiegel posings, but so at least, and especially what I like about these types of joints is that you can have a vertical hinge for a gun wielding hand, because you can't hit anything with this, and it looks stupid, not cool. But yeah, see the gun fits in the trigger hand pretty nicely. We have another match to that wide grip. Definitely has to be for the net gun. This kind of nope. Okay, yeah. So yeah, matching pair for the what I assume would be the cigarette hands. So maybe he could be having a cigarette in his right hand and Ein in the left, because like I said, that's permanently. Is that part of the sculpt? That looks like it's part of the sculpt. Yes, because you can see some of the brown overspray, and where the brown is overspraying the flesh, or where the flesh maybe isn't going all the way down, there is no gap. It's all one sculpt. Though it does look like maybe his head was a separate sculpt, but it is not articulated. So he is just a slug, but adorable little Pembroke Welsh corgi butt. You have to do corgi butt if there's a corgi, you know. Matching trigger hand on the left, we have a singular thumbs up. God, I'm clearly out of practice. So anyways, like I said, I'm pretty sure Ein was an exclusive, and then I know for a fact that this head and this hand were exclusive to the exclusive timed edition. So thank you again, Kat, for helping me get this, because it is the series finale. See you, Space Cowboy. That is the series finale. I'm not like, don't jump to conclusions if you don't want spoilers, because this doesn't really spoil showing it, but this is the last thing you see in the entire series. This head and this hand, and he does a little finger gun, and then it cuts to black, and then you see the see you, Space Cowboy. So yeah. Also, it does, like, the blood is kind of like purplish. It's like a maroon or like a burgundy. It's not red. So that's like, so we have the red eye drug vial that is lavender, and then we have maroon blood. So, okay. Articulation, we're 40 minutes in. Hopefully I can keep this under an hour. The head better come off. Comes with spares. We have a dumbbell in the neck, and did Hasbro design this? This is a problem, because when you don't have a lot of movement at the bottom, it might as well just be a static peg, guys. But there's a ball down there. It's a dumbbell. There's a ball down there. And then socket at the top of the head. So easy enough to pop off. Easy enough to pop on. The hands. Oh, yeah, he comes with fists on him in the package. I'm trying not to pop the hand. I'm trying because it's the same kind of peg in the hand. So I was trying not to pop the hand off, leaving the peg in the wrist. So, ooh, come on. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to leave the other hand off because I do want to plug iron in. But yeah, so it's series finale. Try not to use your imagination. Definitively, you can have different conclusions because it doesn't define the ending one way or the other. So, this doesn't mean that he dies in the finale, and and me saying that this doesn't mean he dies in the finale also doesn't mean that he survives. So like I said, it's up for interpretation, but the journey is still fun, and it's one of the best series finales ever. So he's got a hinge and swivel in his shoulders, but I was having trouble. Holy God. Oh my God. I don't know if that's as far as it goes up or not. I got more movement out of the right, but then he does have a bicep swivel at the top of the sleeve. Putting him back down is terrifying. Should have left the right one down. Okay, so I found out. Okay, well, phone, there can't be 0 people watching because I'm watching on my iPad, so there has to be at least one watcher. So it's easier to turn it this way, and then, okay, well, that was the easier option for the right arm. So the left arm might be stuck up there until I warm it up. That's great. That's wonderful. Ooh. Please don't break. Please don't break. So his coat is like a soft rubbery material, but it's glued shut. So it's like I can't get it, like there's no way to get it off. I feel like there's a ball joint in the diaphragm, but like if you look, it's blue all the way up. So like the shirt definitely doesn't continue down. The tie doesn't continue down. Not that we often see him with his jacket open, but and not that I would need that, but like just to figure out what is going on with the shoulder joints. That is like I'm hurting my hands because I'm trying not to hurt the figure. I also don't want the arm stuck up for the entire rest of the video, but I also want the video done in 15 minutes. And I still have, wow, okay, that's upsetting me. Like I said, there's a rotation up there at the top of the bicep. We have a double jointed pinless elbow, comes up a little past 90. Like I said, I'm pretty sure there's a ball joint in the torso. Then we also have a ball joint at the waist. So Well, I'm more worried about hurting the figure. Like, I'll heal, but if this breaks, I don't know if we're past an exchange window or if they even have any to exchange. So, so he gets that far forward. He gets that far back. It feels like it's a little loose at the hips and at the waist, and then the head. So you see, like, the head is kind of loosey goosey, and you see, like, I kept hitting it when I was trying to get the shoulder back down. Oh, I felt a detent give way. Jesus. Okay. We have ball pegs in the hips. We have a cap. So you see it rotates around the cap. So no thigh swivel, but that is your thigh swivel. So he does have double jointed knees. It's the floating joint like NECA uses for their double jointed elbows. I don't think that's how they do. Does NECA even do double jointed knees? This is how NECA does double jointed elbows. 100%. It's a floating joint in between the two. It's not like, which, I mean, I guess there is a joint there, but like, this is how most companies do double jointed elbows. This is literally how NECA does its double jointed elbows, where it's a hinge peg. So usually when you have double jointed knees like this, they're like these elbows. That's not a complaint, it's just an observation. So we have a vertical pin for ankle rotation. Then it comes down to a hinge, gets you that much forward, gets you not a whole lot of back. Also, everybody wish Kat a speedy recovery. She has COVID. You do have a forward-facing pin for rocker. There's a rock in, and oh god, that's tight. Rock out. And that frickin' left arm is still. Oh, I felt and potential spam is now calling me in the middle of my stream. Should I answer it live? Frank's Roadkill Cafe, you kill him, we grill him. Oh my god. This is pissing me off, man. Obviously, Ein does add a little bit of weight. Come on. So we're going to want to maybe, ow, pinch my finger in the joint. Kick back a detent a little. And then this makes it look like he got beat up trying to catch the catch the puppy. That's not going to be a size comparison because he's got his frickin' Chicago's Taxidermy and Vet Clinic, where either way you get your dog back. All right. Let's move the accessories off. I realized that I was stupid and I don't have the full size. I guarantee they made one, but I don't have the full size Ein Funko Pop. I only have the mini that came with Ed. So there's the mini that came with Ed. We have an even smaller one in Ed's backpack. And we have a U2s of Ed and Ein. I guarantee I have a plush, but my plushie bin is holding up other bins, because if those cave in, it's plushies, they can't get damaged. It's not like putting, you know, figures underneath them. However, I do have Mondo's previous Cowboy Bebop offering, which is Ein. So, vinyl figure. He has a slight swivel in his neck, and his packaging, which I did keep, is like a prop replica of the briefcase he comes in. So that I kept. I just said I kept it. Stupid. Oh my god. So again, thank you, Kat. I now have both of Mondo's Cowboy Bebop releases. Well, this I got while I was still fully employed. But yes, so he's with my other like full size, well, my 6th scale Mondo He-Man Battle Cat, and the Mattel Colossal T-Rex, which I named Sue, which if you are a fan of the Chicago Field Museum, you'll get that reference. Okay, so spikes. We have the 3-0 6th scale figure. Like I say, 6th scale is a 6-foot person is 12 inches. Then we have the aforementioned Tamashii Nations Bandai SH Figure Arts. Yeah, see, he's not holding the cigarette. It's in his mouth. So I never had issues standing him before, but apparently for this video he can't stand. We have the Loyal Subjects Best Action. Not a great figure, but again, it was Cowboy Bebop. So, and again, they only freaking made Spike and Vicious. Son of a gun. We have the Kyoto Zebek Toys Action Figure Edition. He actually comes with a bunch of tiny little cigarettes that, like, on a sprue. That you can slide into the hole in his hand, and there's like a cut of articulation there and a cut there and the neck, but otherwise it's solid from the it's solid everywhere else. But there's a cool, on the base you get like a little puddle with the rose, which is actually removable. So, but this is not a review of the Kyoto Zebek Toys XEBEC Action Figure Edition. And then the Yamato Story Image figure, which you see on the paper. And I believe this is all my spikes. Yeah. So I have this Funko Pop. I have the Funko Pop of Ed. She's sitting cross-legged. I don't know if we're allowed to say Indian style anymore, but that one came with this Ein. And then I have the first Jet, because Jet is my second favorite character. It goes Ed, Jet. The heck is that? It's a sticker with an arrow on it. I don't know who that came off of. All right. Okay. Moving spikes off. We got 5 minutes left. I can do this. I would have preferred for a 45-minute video, but at least if I can keep it at an hour. Okay. Yeah, like I said, it's 1, 2, 3 of my Spike figures are holding cigarettes. So, Mondo, Ickis from the Real Monster sets, Mondo Jane Lane from the Darius set, and what is 1/6 scale, because the turtles are not 6 feet tall, so obviously it is shorter than 12 inches, but Michelangelo. Then my usual, like I said, the height is gonna, hang on. Because there's a way to have the stand still hold him, but not skew his height. Not that that's the most secure around his waist. Like I said, this is the Storm Collectibles, quote unquote, 1/12 scale Darkstalkers Dmitry Maximoff. It is not 1/12 scale, though I cannot wait for their Storm Arena to finally get to Darkstalkers. We've seen prototypes of Morrigan and Lilith, but no pre-orders yet. I already have Ken and Ryu from Street Fighter and Baki Hanma from Baki the Grappler. This stand is not, like, he's still tipping over forward. Swear there's a way to have the stand support his weight without skewing his height. The Mattel Masterverse Revelation Stinkor, the McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat 11 Shadow of Spawn. I do really want that new classic Spawn, but I currently don't have $50, and it's a Walmart exclusive, I guess. I think, I don't know. It pre-sold out online, but then Robo said he picked his up in person at Walmart. So we have the Fresh Monkey Fiction Eagle Force Agent Grimm. We're going a little out of order here. Diamond Select Toys, Rest in Peace, G.I. Joe Minimates, Storm Shadow, Jax Pacific, Super Mario, and he's hiding Storm Shadow's face. You saw the Hasbro Marvel Legends comic book Deadpool. And you can already see others in the background. The Metacom FX Snyder Cut Justice League Batman. The NECA TMNT 2 Secret Reviews Michelangelo kills Deadpool. Who then kills Mikey back. Guys. The Super 7 Silverhawks Ultimates Bluegrass and Sideman. Like, I haven't touched his face since the review, but it looks like the nose is even bluer than before. So I don't. Once this is done, go watch my Silverhawks Bluegrass and Steel Will Chrome review. See me go off on Super 7's horrible quality. And then my, was it third favorite figure of 2025, the Fresh Monkey Fiction Big Bad Workshop Operation Monster Force The Donner Party. So we're at an hour. Thank you very much for watching. Those are hollow words. I'm going to try something different, because some of the biggest channels still ask you to do the YouTube stuff, but then some other big channels don't, and it doesn't seem to have affected their growth. So I'm going to take a risk and say, I have the plushie Ein that I picked up at Ace 20 years ago. That's awesome. that is definitely not the one I have. It's definitely newer. Did I have it when I lived in West Chicago? I moved out at 2014. I either got it when I lived with my parents or my first apartment. So it's been a while, but not 20 years a while. So yeah, so I'm not going to be like, I'm going to try and not, because the algorithm can't, because there are channels that don't have narration. You know, they've got cards with the words on at the end. I'm not going to get rid of the card for my edited videos. But it's like, there's no way that YouTube actually looks for people to ask you to do the YouTube stuff. So there's no way that they're listening for the words or looking for the words to bump you up in the algorithm. So I just would rather not annoy people or waste my breath. So if Kat recovers from COVID, hopefully we can get her super secret special birthday trivia done. It's definitely not going to happen in January. So her birthday was a couple weeks ago. So, but the next trivia I want to do will be Kat's super secret special birthday trivia, where I'm writing and asking the questions and she has to answer, and it will not be live. So I want to try something different. We've never seemed to have any viewers when we're live, and no one's ever played along in the comments while we're live. So I kind of wanted to like have better camera quality and, you know, maybe multiple cameras set up and, you know, have a better looking trivia show. And then because I can edit it, then we can also make them shorter too. So that hopefully that would entice people to watch. A video I need to get out before Scream 7 hits theaters at the end of February. I'm doing a franchise ranking with Blake Moneyweather from the channel Nerds at Night. So definitely check their channel out. Check out that video when we upload it. The plan is me filming and editing and uploading and then doing the collaboration. So it'll link to both our channels. But I'll be uploading it. But it super amazingly grateful that someone from such a much more established channel is actually stooping down to guest star on mine. So I'm very much looking forward to that. There's still a lot of prep work that I need to do before we can film, and then a lot of prep work that I need to do before I can even edit what we filmed. So yay, procrastination and poor mental health. Again, thank you for watching. Please stay safe. Please stay safe. Please stay safe. You know. TTFN, ta-ta for now.